Konnichiwa.
Welcome to the Jandals in Japan podcast.
Kia ora, Catherine. Merry Christmas, as they say here in Japan.
Very, very good accent there, Jane. Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas indeed.
Yes, so what's happening for Christmas at your place this year?
Well, I'm heading back to Kiwiland and I will be having, I guess, we usually go between one of my brother's places, alternate. I think it's my youngest brother this year. And normally it's a BYO, we bring some portion of the meal.
Right.
And I used to do the dessert, but I just don't like waiting till the end now to get up and do the dessert. So I try and do the front end.
Right.
Like I've got these really yummy
snacks.
Crackers and things that I can make. So I'm going to do the snacky part. Yeah. Well, I've already opted for that. You heard it here first before it goes out on the family WhatsApp group. Yeah. So that's what I'm up to. How about you? You're staying in Japan?
I'll be here. Yes, I won't be going home. We will be having our usual Nakata family Christmas in Japan, which involves my children organizing all of the decorations and me ordering a giant tray of sushi, which is everyone's favorite food. And we have it with some bubbles for for the adults and some non-alcoholic bubbles for the children. And that's our Christmas, is everyone's favorite food, sushi, rather than me trying to roast a chicken in a Japanese oven, which doesn't work. And I found that trying to recreate a New Zealand Christmas in Japan is always a disaster. So I've given that up a while ago. And now we just do our Japanese New Zealand version. And everybody's happy, actually.
Sounds good to me.
That's all they know, right?
And that's all you want, really. You want happiness. That's what it's about. It's not about stressing out. And sushi sounds like ideal food.
Yeah, it's great, actually. And the little man delivers it on a bike.
A little man delivers it on his bike. I can just actually imagine that. I can picture that. Yeah. How lovely.
We also have New Year to deal with. So if you're a Japanese New Zealand family, then you have double the events throughout the year that you have to deal with. New Year is a big event here in Japan as well. So we will be doing neither of them particularly well, but we will be celebrating both with even more food a week later. So we have to kind of manage how we're going to deal with these two big events and within a week of each other, right? Yeah, so it's quite a lot going on here.
What do you do New Year's Eve? Do you do something? Do you watch the Kohaku, the red and white singing tournament thing on Japanese TV, which everyone seems to watch, or do you just do other things?
Well, my children are now sort of old enough to stay awake a little bit. We used to just put them in bed and just not tell them it was New Year's Eve. And my husband would stay up and watch people fighting each other, or some kind of fighting thing that happens on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Or the other comedy, we record the comedy one where
there's a comedy one, yes.
do like 24
Manzai.
hours and you're not allowed to laugh. Can't laugh. If you laugh, then you literally get smacked on the bum, like with this big stick thing. And so but they do all these things to try and make you laugh, make these people laugh, right? And they do it every year, and they're not doing it anymore, thank goodness, because I think
let's not hit people. Past
its time. But it is quite funny when they try to make them laugh and then they can't laugh at these things that are actually quite funny.
Well, I can't believe we're at the end of the year, honestly.
I know, right? What a year. It's flown by.
And
great stuff
that we launched this podcast in March. And
right, yes.
2 episodes a month, is that right?
Yes,
Jane?
about 2 episodes a month. And we've been
and a couple of lives and special ones that we've put out as well. But it's been really fantastic. We've had so many super supporters. Like, we have to say, New Zealand Embassy, NZTE, our friends there have just been brilliant at suggesting people. Perhaps they're wondering about us at the beginning, and then they started sending us people. JNZBC, yes, Ian Kennedy and Sarah McLaughlin. Thank you so much.
New Zealand Story.
NZ Story.
Taking us under their wing.
David Downs, thank you for coming on, and also for the people that you've allowed in your team to introduce us to. Thank you so much.
Goodness me. Yeah, so it's been one heck of a year, and I think next year's going to be even more amazing for Jandals. So stay tuned for what's coming next. But we thought we'd give you a little Christmas present. in audio form, obviously, to round out the year. And we have a really sweet episode coming up this week with Jayden Toa-Maxwell. And you might be like, who the hell is that? And if you are, you'll be like we were when we first met Jayden at the New Zealand Embassy event for people who had been involved with the social media campaign with the embassy. And we met him there and found out.
Priceless, wasn't it? It was priceless.
We found out that he's a mega celebrity in Japan.
Yeah, and he's a mega celebrity because he was on the Japan Bachelorette TV show last year, 2021.
Yeah, Japan Bachelorette 2. Have you ever tried to say Bachelorette in Japanese? It's such a mouthful.
Bachelorette,
Bachelorette. Yeah.
Season 2, indeed it was. Yes. First non-Japanese
male. So
there's proudly representing New Zealand in his way of approach, and it's just a super episode that we have coming up where he tells us a little bit about how he got into that. His personality has really driven through there, right, with his free flowing, but also his dedication to people and his determination that he does through his sport. He plays rugby in Japan for a team. He's graduated from university in Japan as well, and we think he's an all-rounder. Great guy. We're sure that you'll love listening to this, and we hope that you have a really great Christmas and enjoy all that we've got from Jayden as he speaks today.
Yeah, so let's hear it from the lovely Jayden. Kia ora, Jayden. Welcome to Jandals in Japan. Great to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thank you. Kia ora, konnichiwa. Good morning. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's get started with our warm-up question for today. So let's imagine it's very late. You've been out on the town in Tokyo and you have the munchies. So where do you head to? What do you buy to eat?
Oh,
good question.
That's a very good question. Wow. Oh, it just depends, if I've had a bit too much of, probably head to a McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I love McDonald's here in Japan. They've got so much variety over here, but probably the go-to is a good, nice, juicy ramen over here in Japan. It's a bit heavy, but nothing can beat a ramen after a good night with your friends and before you head home. Probably not too good on the stomach, but
might regret
we deal with that another day.
Yeah. Is it a shoyu, miso?
I'm a miso. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Lots of extra chashu.
Yeah,
put extra meat in there. So yeah.
Interesting that you head to the Macca's if it's been a really big night. Like the old habits die hard, I think. Right?
Yeah. Love a Macca's though.
And the Macca's here is really nice. Too,
it's good. Variety. Crazy.
And not KFC.
No. Nothing wrong with KFC, but
you can hardly find them anyway around Tokyo, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a battle. No potato gravy over here either, so it doesn't help.
Oh, right. Good point.
How about you, Catherine? Where would you head if you've had a big night and you've got the munchies?
I'd head home and find out whatever I've got in the kitchen. But if I go back to my early days back in Christchurch, I would go to the souvlaki place.
Oh, souvlaki.
Yeah, there was a Greek souvlaki in Cathedral Square. And I would go there with friends and we'd all just get our usual order and just scoff that down. At least we felt there was some vegetable content, so it didn't feel so bad. That's what I used to do.
Well, when I was younger, in the younger days when I used to go out on the town here in Japan, we would hit Mr. Donuts. That's all there was. That's all there was. Right. That was open at that time of night. And you'd go in and we'd get like 3 or 4 donuts and we'd eat the lot and then we'd go, did that just happen? Like, because it's just mostly like sugar and air. Can recommend Mr. Donuts as not the place to go.
It's not.
It's not. No, it's not. Like find a McDonald's or a 7-Eleven, anything. But that was literally all there was to choose from here in Fukushima, where I live.
Wow. Look at that. It's obviously carb central, isn't it, for all of us, right? That's what you sort of crave after a bit of a night out. Well, so super to have you here, Jayden. We've just been waiting for you to come on the show and so glad to have you here. And we're going to put your full bio into the show notes. But you were fantastically famous and still are in 2021 when you became one of the first chaps from outside of Japan to be on the Bachelorette TV show. And we met you at the New Zealand Embassy, and our friend Jess introduced us, and we just knew you would be fantastic to come on the show. So, as I said, we'll put your bio in the show notes later. But could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Japan? And then we'll go into the show a bit later after that.
I grew up in Hamilton, H-Town. I was born in Palmerston North though, but moved to Hamilton at a young age with my mum and my dad and my brother. And then high school, I actually went to a high school in Auckland called Dilworth. That school was a big part of my upbringing. It's a school that gives scholarships to underprivileged kids from, struggling circumstances. Everything's paid for, from your schooling, your sporting, your living, your boarding. So that school really helped take a burden off my mother at the time. Took me away from home and put me in like a stable environment. So that schooling at Dilworth was a big part of my life there. Once I finished school, then I got a scholarship to come to Japan to attend university and play sport. So after school, I didn't really have much plans. My original plan was to go over to Australia and hopefully find some work, but things seemed to take a different path, and I got a scholarship to come over to Japan. So I thought, why not just give it a go? Came over to Japan, and I've been here 8-9 years since. So
Wow.
it's been a long journey. I came over here not much thinking of how it was going to be, but I must love it because I've been here ever since. So haven't gone back home. But yeah, came over here, played rugby at university. That was a crazy journey from university to playing with the national team, the Japan national sevens team.
Wow.
And then also while trying to balance studies as well. So full on, but it was another great experience. And graduated university, played for my current team right now, which is a company team called Yokogawa. Played here for the last 4 years. And just last year, yeah, like you guys said, I went and done a big 180 and went from a rugby player to being on TV. So decided to take the opportunity to be on the Bachelorette Japan, and how things have changed since then.
Wow. You're a sense of adventure, I think. Sort of leaving your home and everything you've ever known, right, in New Zealand, just to come to Japan. And I'm guessing Japan wasn't really on your radar when you took that scholarship, but you learned any Japanese or thought, I'd like to go there?
No, nothing. I had previously come on like a school trip at my intermediate school days when I was about 11, but that was more just for like, an exchange program, just come here, just pretty much just go sightseeing. So it wasn't really to immerse in the culture or the language. So that was like an initial insight into the culture, but my initial was just like, I just heard Japan, scholarship, sports, rugby. I thought I was just going to come over and be a big superstar or something like that. I was thinking like American college kind of stuff like that. How it was
like a TV show,
different.
basically. Yeah, like a show.
Movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Came over, got a big reality check, and
tell us about the reality check.
Well, you come over and it's just, I came over in January, which is like you're in the thick of winter.
Yeah,
sure are.
And you're leaving New Zealand, which is in the thick of summer. So I was on the plane, playing shorts and t-shirt and jandals.
Literally arrived in your jandals.
Yeah, that was my first big reality check. It was like how cold it is here. It's ridiculous. I'm a summer guy.
Right.
That was my first check. And then people that came and picked us up had no word of English. So we were trying to communicate what's going on, how we're going to figure it all out. But that was another barrier that you had to try come over, which was the language. That was crazy. And then you're driving through Tokyo and it's just massive buildings, bright lights. So it was a big 360 from what I had just left. And that's when the homesickness started kicking in. So it's not so easy. You can't just jump on a plane and turn back. You have to try fight through it. But at the end of the day, it's been worth it. Must have, because still here. So I've loved it ever since.
Do you remember when it turned, when you felt more comfortable in Japan? How long did that take?
It took a while. Like my first year, that was a real rough year. Like I don't know how many times I wanted to go home. I
Mm.
was just, I was just over it. It's a massive different culture. It's like a culture shock. Like these guys are real disciplined, real strict in their routine and stuff like that. I'm a real just free flow, go with the flow kind of guy. So that was trying to do everything repetitive every day, get into like a real strict cycle was a bit tough for a long time. But once I started learning the language, everything started getting a bit easier. And then, which meant I could start communicating with the other guys. When you go out, you don't have to eat McDonald's every day because it's a lot easier to order from McDonald's than go into a yakiniku restaurant or a ramen restaurant.
Yeah, right.
So eventually, gradually over time, once I start learning the language and understanding the culture, over that first year, maybe heading towards the end of my first year, start of my second year, that's when everything gradually started getting easier especially because of the language and understanding the Japanese culture and how the Japanese people are over time eventually made it a lot easier.
Yeah, once you've done one year, one lap of the year in Japan, and you've seen all the things that pop up throughout the year. Oh, it's really hot now. Oh, it's really humid now. Oh,
Yeah.
people eat this at this time of year. Oh, they do that. And then the next year around, you're like, oh, I know this. I've done this before, right? And then you can learn a little bit more and go a little bit deeper and go, oh, actually, this is interesting to me now. Or, oh, this food is yummy or whatever. I think it took me a good 5 years probably to feel, like I'm really, I'm doing this. I'm okay now. But yeah, the first year is rough, really rough sometimes,
Real rough,
especially if you don't have that language ability. But now, like when you came here, we didn't have Google Translate, but now there's Google Translate, right? You can walk around with your phone and like scan things, and the whole world opens up to you a lot more quickly than it used to do, like when you just first arrived. So it's really great to hear that reminiscence of that time, and overcoming those barriers is what helps you to stay longer, I think, in Japan.
Yeah.
Right? If you invest that energy in getting to know the place.
I think we all have that. I know I arrived in November and it was a few weeks before Christmas, and I was so homesick Christmas, and I thought, why didn't I just leave it until after Christmas? Why did I come then? And you learn a lot through that pain of overcoming when you really want to do something else and you stay in Japan. And I think you've really hit that you've got to keep your stamina going and just go through with it, even if you feel like that. I don't know where that strength comes from, but you did it, right? And look what it's presented you as a result.
Yeah, definitely. I think my school, Duluth, really helped shape that path of, getting over that homesickness barrier because, I was in a boarding facility for about 10 weeks, for the whole term. So that kind of helped with getting over the homesickness. And then they have a strict routine and they have a strict structure because, there's a lot of troubled kids that go to that school. So you need to put them in a system where they can start getting used to it. So that kind of really helped with my time over here. And then just like what really motivated me was like, remembering why I was over here and doing what I was doing. I knew wanting to go home there was just thinking short term, but I really had to think long term. I really had to think towards like, what's the end goal of why am I here? Because I think when you're struggling at that time, you really think short term, like, I just want to go home. And you go home and then what are you going to do?
Right.
So I think you really have to look at the long term goals and why are you there? Really remind yourself why you're there and why you're doing it. And I think that really helped me get over those tough times, just looking into the process and just trying to trust that process and getting through it all. So that definitely helped.
Have your family been and visited you in Japan?
Yeah. My brother's been here a few times and my mum's been here a few times as well. So they love it. They love it over here. My mum comes over. She's been over here 2 or 3 times, I think. And then my brother, he's come over a couple of times as well. So, and with all 3 of us got to hang out over here at one time too. So
great.
That was a really good time to have them over here. They love it.
And you're still playing rugby here, right? So you're still with your team?
Still with my team, still playing full-time rugby with them. So that's real.
What does that look like? What does full-time mean for playing rugby in Japan?
It's pretty full on, but with my team, we're a 3rd division, 2nd division team. So most of the Japanese guys work full-time. Most of them have their normal 9 to 5 kind of day jobs, and then we train at night, which is pretty much every day apart from Mondays. Mondays are a day off. Myself, I'm part-time working in full-time rugby, so plus part-time. Now I'm a TV person, so trying to
Got time
balance
for the
the
TV
three.
stuff.
Yeah, trying to balance the three is pretty full on, but usually our schedule for training is usually at night and lunchtime.
So when we met you at the embassy, you had just come out of, I think, your TV appearance had
Yeah,
finished,
yeah.
and you were grappling with the situation of becoming a celebrity in Japan, getting recognized, walking down the street and having people accost you. And then you came into the embassy and Jess introduced us to you, and we were like, so who are you? And what is this TV show you're talking about? And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about this transition from just rugby player, when I'm sure, even, we've heard from rugby players and that the fans are amazing and things, but you maybe don't tend to be recognized so much, to becoming a recognized face in Tokyo.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. Getting involved with the Bachelorette journey, the TV show. I knew once it was going to be released, I knew that you're going to be put in the public eye. I understood that timing was going to come. I just didn't think it was going to be as intense as it is. You definitely lose a lot of your privacy, your private life. But, I understood that when I got involved in the show. It is pretty intense when you're just trying to have some food at a ramen restaurant or something like that. And, people taking photos of you from afar or coming up to you or waiting outside to take photos with you. But I don't dislike it. I love it. That comes with the territory of getting involved. And I kind of have a duty as now being on TV to, these guys support me. So these guys, really get behind me. So I have a duty and to, just say thank you, because, that's the least that I can do, because these guys have put me into the public eye. Definitely when I came to the embassy, and definitely felt like I was in a safe zone, because this is like no one knew who I was, and I kind of felt normal again. So it's
I'm
so
glad we
nice.
helped you feel normal.
Yeah. It definitely brings you back to, just you can just relax now. You can just relax. You don't have to worry about something picking apart your conversation, or if you
Instagramming
get
every minute of it.
if you get like a tomato sauce stuck on your cheek, you don't have to worry about someone taking a photo of you and then posting it all over, or watching you eat and stuff like that. So I definitely felt like, I was in a safe zone and
Because
be
you said
amongst.
on the way up from Shibuya Station, when you got out of the taxi, people already saw you immediately and wanted you, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was like literally like maybe like a couple or weeks after the final episode. So that was definitely one of the most intense periods of it. So
we did offer to bodyguard you on the way back, but you turned that one down.
We thought that we might be scary enough to keep the fans at bay, but
no, yeah. I'll have to take that offer up another time.
We'd love to do that. We'd love to do that.
I would like to just experience what it's like to walk around with Jayden in Tokyo, because it must be pretty interesting experience. We'll have to
it's definitely calmed down a lot more,
right?
And it definitely helps that you wear masks over here, so you can kind of really cover up your face and stuff like that. So, but I, like I said before, I kind of have a duty, and for these people that support me.
Yeah, but you got to calculate that into your travel time, right? I may mobbed
definitely
when I do X, so I will need an extra 10 minutes or whatever, right? Interesting.
Good
Getting
point.
used to finding the system, you instead of like you can just see people taking a photo, I just ask them for a photo, so you can just take the photo and just
get on with it.
Just get on with it.
Yeah. How did it come to be though that you got onto the show? What's the process there? What happened that brought that about?
When I was deciding whether to go on or not, I was actually planning on going back home to New Zealand and just finish. I was wanting to go home, and hadn't been home for a while during the COVID period. So, and I was just pretty much looking at finishing up with rugby and just heading home. But like I said earlier, that was just the short-term thinking, just because I just wanted to go home. And I didn't really think long-term, as in if I was to give up rugby, what would I do? I did graduate university with the business management degree, but I had done nothing in terms of getting involved in that type of work area. So I kind of just like sat down and like, if I go home, what am I going to do? And then just at that time and moment, it's lucky enough, I had a friend of a friend who does the casting for TV shows over here. And she just came up to me. She was just like, "Oh, just fill out this questionnaire, the survey." There's over like hundreds and hundreds of people that tried to get involved with this show, and they only select 17. So she was like, why not just? There's no harm in just writing out this survey. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I just filled it out. There's a process to it, and just decided to, after one process, the next process, the next step, the next step. Next minute, I'm one of the 17 that was lucky enough to get on the show, and there was over hundreds and hundreds of people that want to be on the show or that audition to get onto the show or send in to be on the show. And then you got people from the show that they ask around, scouting kind of.
Right.
And there's over 500, 600 people apparently that try to get involved. And
wow.
and they only select 17. And here I was just going with the flow, just like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Kind of just just seeing how I was.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna get it, so I was just like, yeah, okay.
So what happened when you got it? What did you think?
I was just like, oh wow. So what? Because I had never actually seen it before.
You didn't know what you were getting.
No, so I was like,
dear.
I've heard the name before because it's like it's a global franchise, and it's the most watched and recognized reality TV show in the world. But I hadn't seen the Japanese version. And so I was just like, oh, better know what I'm getting myself into here. And so I started watching a couple, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if this is me.
Why did you think that? What was it that made you think that?
It's just like you have to be real out there, kind of, real cheesy and stuff like that.
Overly sincere. I was a little bit, it sounded a bit like...
I was just like,
I can't look. Yeah.
This is not me. I'm like, nah.
But it's not like itchy. Like it's kind of
no.
It's very pure and sort of
real Japanese version is very pure. Yeah.
Like that was why I was a little bit. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So what is Bachelorette? Because if there's anyone listening who doesn't know what it is, I'm sure they do. But how would you describe it?
So it's pretty much there's just the Bachelorette is the female version where there's one lady, really successful. She's lady,
an amazing woman, isn't she?
Very, very, not only beautiful but very successful in her work because of how busy she is with her work, how successful she is with work. Finds it difficult to find love, so she's one lady trying to search for her future partner, which is where we come in. Is where there's 17 guys that get to meet her and give her a reason to select or pick one of us as her future partner. So there's 17 guys, pretty much like Survival, trying to fight for this girl's heart.
Wow.
And you made it down to the top 2, right? Is that right?
Yeah, top three.
Top
three.
Yeah.
So then you got to the side at the top 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But how cool to go that far. You must have been really, you knew you were doing something right, obviously, to come through that far. And was that fun then as you got through further and further? Did you get more into it and feel more of a genuineness as well with the way that you went through?
Yeah, well, like I said before, I'm real, just go off the flow, just do my thing as long as I'm me, doing me.
Yeah.
That was just how I took the journey. It's just be me. If she does, I don't want to be someone else. I don't want to try put myself out there too much because that wouldn't be me. That'd just be fake. So I just be the real me. Just show her. If she likes me, she likes me. If she doesn't, she doesn't. It is what it is. But I didn't want to put a fake image out there. Try appeal to her more than what I would usually do. Because that just wouldn't be me. So, but definitely as the journey gets on, it does get tougher because your feelings do become real. You do get more deeper and deeper into the feelings of how you feel for her. And the same goes for her. She gets to know you on a more deeper and intimate level. And you definitely feel a greater connection going over time. But you still don't know if you're going to be there or not because, she she's got the toughest job, no matter how you think about it. She has to pretty much break 16 other guys' hearts, as the journey goes along. So that's a real tough thing for her to do. I wouldn't say I was scared, but it does get because your feelings do get real and does get deeper, and you do get more into it as it goes along.
Do you keep in touch?
No, we all have events. Some of us have put on events and stuff like that. She does come out and join us, the other guys as well. So yeah, it's good to see her then. I wish nothing but the best for her. It just wasn't meant to be at the end of the day. And maybe my princess is out there somewhere. If anyone's watching. Nah.
How did this show help you get to know about Japan or parts of Japan that you sort of didn't know before, and that industry, the talent industry in general?
Yeah, it's real. I haven't been anything involved with TV or the talent industry over here. I'm just a simple rugby player over here, just involved in sports, and that's about it. Just a one-side kind of guy. But getting involved in the production of the Bachelorette, it's really introduced me to media, TV, talent, social media and stuff like that. Like how really intense it is over here. Like you can build a massive brand off just being on TV, just appearing on one commercial or getting involved with some type of company's products. It's an intense industry. It's like a whole nother sport as well. Like that's what I think. Like you're competing against other people that try to get TV time or involved in media, interviews, magazines, photo shoots. It's a real competitive industry, but I definitely enjoy it because I definitely you involve like a production for a TV show or production for an interview or shooting a commercial or photo shoots. It's a whole group together, and they all come together pretty much for you to promote the product or promote you. And it's such a real good, fun, strict, but it's a real fun environment that I really, at the moment, enjoy getting involved in. It's definitely helped that there's another side to Japanese culture, not just sport, but media, work-wise as well, TV industry. And that's definitely opened up my eyes to like meeting new people, not just hanging out with rugby players or sport people. There's a lot more people out there in the world. And
yeah, we often hear about how small the rugby world is, or everyone knows everyone. And you took a step into a completely different zone, which is this entertainment industry, media, all of that. And yeah, it opened your eyes to endless possibilities, right? With the media in Japan. Like, I don't think New Zealanders can just grasp just how many, for example, magazines there are in Japan. Even women's magazines, there are like the one for the women in the 30s, one's for women in their 40s. I don't know if you've noticed this, Jayden. I certainly have. This is the one for women over 50. There's like a Women's Day for every age group, we just have Women's Day in New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. I just know the Women's Day in New Zealand magazine, which is the magazine for everyone, but we're shooting like maybe 6 different magazines all in one day, and I have no clue which one is which, but there's so many people out there that support different platforms, and it's really cool to see how everyone gets around it and supports it.
You also decided to take control of your brand a little bit. I think, since you started out and just sort of went with it for a while, and then you decided to be a little bit more deliberate about what you're doing. So tell us a little bit about what you've been working on since then.
Yeah, I've done quite a few things at the moment, working towards next year of like putting it all out there. So I've created like a little community called like the Kuma family, which is like
show us your t-shirt there. You got
I got it on right there.
Branded gear on there. Kuma
brand
family.
New clothes. Right here.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, little rose that I drew. So this is a little
because rose is very important for you. Yeah.
Yep. So
symbol of, was it authenticity?
Being real and
being real.
Yeah. So that was something, and family is real big to me. So that's why I created a kind of a community after being on the Bachelorette. And then Kuma was something that I was named on the show as like, a big scary little guy, but he's just a little soft teddy bear on the inside.
Oh, he looks scary on the outside, but soft teddy bear.
Soft teddy bear. Yeah.
Right.
So that was So I
Nice.
decided to create that little community. And at the
Yeah.
moment, I've been putting on events where we can all get together and, just meet and greet people that support me. They get to meet other people that support me. They can share the same conversation because, they're all, at the end of the day, they're all part of the same community, which means that they can make friends within each other. So if we were to have another event, they don't have to come by themselves anymore. They just met
That's
some new
awesome.
friends. I done a training event a couple of months ago, which was real cool to gather together a whole bunch of people that love training. We had about 29 females and one male. So that was an awesome training event. And actually just Saturday, I done my second event, which was a Shukuji Kai, which was where I rented out a whole place where we just gathered together a whole group of people and we just ate food, drank a lot of alcohol or soft drinks, and played some bingo, played some games.
Good old bingo. Good old,
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Love
be
a good
Shokuji Kai
bingo.
without a bingo game.
Yeah. So
Oh,
That's
how
Japanese
nice.
culture. There you go.
yeah. So
That's
got together a
great.
whole community. Funny story, I didn't think there was going to be many people. So I just had planned to put on one with a max of 30 people. So I announced it on SNS and the site crashed in the first 3 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
and
way.
I got a call like, sorry, we're going to need you to reset it. And I was like, oh, why? What happened? We had over 358 people
Trying to get on
try
there,
to
right?
apply to be on for only 30 spots. And that app had never had that type of numbers before.
So you had to, how many did you do?
So I'd only done one at the moment, but I have to
Yeah.
plan for.
You have to plan for the others.
So I got
Ooh.
another one on the 17th, and
Okay.
then I'm going to plan to do some more next year. So yeah, that was intense, but that just shows that the passion
doesn't
behind
it?
the people that support you, like
Right. And it doesn't have to be fancy. I mean,
No,
bingo and
yeah.
dinner and drinking, soft
Yeah.
drinks, or
Yeah, with
whatever you
you.
want. That sounds like a fantastic, because you're there.
Yeah.
And they
So I
want to be
just
part of
wanna-
your aura
yeah,
and your vibe
yeah,
and speak
yeah.
with you, the soft teddy bear that you are, right?
Yeah. So that was real cool.
35, like if one of 35, I'd sign up for that,
Yeah.
get to come and be one of 30 people in the room. It's not like 300 and then you're
Yeah,
all sort of
yeah.
like
So
dissipated. That's
that was a real cool
wow.
event on Saturday where we booked out a whole place, ate delicious food, and everyone just enjoyed each other's company and met friends. It was kind of like a networking event, kind of what I was trying to establish
Essential
within.
thing, as you said, it's you, but and the people can meet other people and become
Yeah.
community of like people who like
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So that was real cool to put on, and
Sweet.
grateful for the people that
I
helped
was
out.
looking at your stories that people were posting about it and the looks on the faces of the fans. They were so thrilled to be there. And so, like, for me, I was like, yeah, that would be if I was like in the same room with Bruno Mars. Sorry, Jayden, but if I was in the same room, I would have
Who's
had that
that? No.
same look on my face. They were just so thrilled to be there. So it's really lovely that you understand their devotion
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
are just really taking care of them in the way that you can and understand that instead of just taking advantage of it. Let's just say.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm just because without people that support me, there wouldn't be no
Nothing,
Jay. Yeah, so
no Kuma family.
yeah, exactly. So
Welcome a family.
yeah, so I'm just grateful for their support, and if there's anything, time is short, but if I do have time, I do want to, give time back to these people as well, which is why creating those events of where we all just get together and network, or clothing. I've got a whole new line coming out next year, so
Tell us about that. What's that about?
Definitely expanding on my merch. So I just had t-shirts out initially, and that was all gone, and like. That was just
awesome. Test the waters, yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought, and I'd done
We're happy
the first
to test
one.
them for you
too.
Yeah. So my initial time was just I actually just done it all myself. I went to a local t-shirt shop. I drew out the design myself on a piece of paper, and which is this design right here. So I just drew this out on a piece of paper. I took it to the place and I was like, can we make this like digital, and I want to put it on t-shirts. And they're like, yep, but you'll have to print it on each t-shirt yourself. They'll give us the base of the design and you just print it out on yourself. So I was like, my first initial t-shirt line, I really wanted it to be me. I really wanted to show that this is what I did, and each t-shirt that you get, It's like from me. It's from my hand.
Made it with your bare hands, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Bare
I really
hands.
wanted. Yeah, exactly. Bare hands.
Bare hands. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good one, Catherine.
So, thanks for that. No. But yeah, so that was definitely a story behind it that I really wanted to show that each person that bought a t-shirt was, it was literally like I made each t-shirt. So
Great.
I made dropped a whole bunch. Didn't sell it online either. I just decided to do it at my training event, or if you came to my rugby game, I'll give it to you personally in hand.
Whoa.
So it was kind of a way for them to come meet me as well. And I wanted to give each t-shirt, like sending it in the mail. People that are far, that was real, unfortunate that, because, they might not be able to come and get it. But I really felt that, because I made each t-shirt with hand, I really wanted to give it to them in person in hand and just really say thank you, because it was my first initial release of clothing. So that was really cool to be able to do that. And that was all gone. So I've decided to, we're heading into winter over here. So definitely deciding to starting next year, hopefully bring out a whole new line, which is pretty
Winter
much
collection.
Yeah. So we got hoodies, like setups, like bottom and top, long tees, and also a lot of my supporters. There's a lot of mothers out there, a lot of wives with kids. So I've decided to, get the kids involved because, it is a family. It is Kuma family. So I got a kid clothing line coming out as well. So
it can be matchy.
Matchy,
Yes.
mum
and kids, and family, the whole family. So
Love
everyone's
it.
got the Kuma family design. So hopefully get that all done and bring it out coming in hot next year.
Yeah, it's really, your fan base is really like all over Japan, right? It's not just people in Tokyo. I mean, here in Fukushima, where I live, which is, not a big city, I said to someone, I'm going to be talking to Jayden from the Bachelorette too, and they go, oh, I watched that, and I loved him. He was great, and he's so nice, and so people know you, right, all over Japan, and it's just that it came out back in summer, wasn't it?
August,
It was summer,
something like that. Yeah.
So it's kind of gone by, but yeah, the fans still know you, right? So the real fans still know you, so.
It's real, and they're there to support you from there on out. So I know this won't last forever, but so I'm going to enjoy it while it is how it is now. But
let's see how it evolves, right?
Yeah, so this is definitely it's an opportunity. Yeah, it's an opportunity right now to build onto something, which was definitely my long-term goal of, figuring something outside of rugby. And I'm definitely enjoying it, getting involved in TV and the media, and also, the merch, the clothing line. Hopefully I can continue to expand this into more of, why I graduated uni in a business management degree. So we're trying to figure it all out as we go.
Some of those things.
Yeah.
But also it's great to have your face representing New Zealand.
Yeah.
As someone who can speak Japanese, right? Because you speak Japanese much better than you did when you got off the plane and graduated university and all of that. Because we don't have a lot of faces representing New Zealand. And, we have Jess, for example, she's amazing. But more wonderful faces representing New Zealand on Japanese TV media is excellent. So thank you for representing New Zealand and being such a great Jandal and representative of our country, because you are representing New Zealand as well as yourself every time.
Of course. I'm always a New Zealander. New Zealander at heart, New Zealander with a Japanese heart. So, I definitely would like to expand more on, representing New Zealand. I definitely want to get involved in, promoting the New Zealand culture to Japanese people. Not just sport, not just my own Kuma family, but also New Zealand. Because New Zealand, we all know New Zealand's a beautiful country. It's a great country, best country in the world. And I definitely want to use this image that I have right now as a New Zealander on the Japanese Bachelorette to kind of expand for people to more recognize the New Zealand culture.
Yeah.
So in New Zealand, if you're listening, please sponsor me.
We also think we can hook
you up.
We can hook you up, definitely. And we think you're doing it just being you. You're really showing how it is to be a wholesome New Zealand ambassador, and you really are doing that. There's plenty of people who would want to work with you, we feel. Lots of our Jandals team, we've had 20 Jandals out there on the network already. And we just think that you will find. It will come to you. You've got an X factor. What else
Yeah,
do you think you need actually in Japan to be quite successful as a Kiwi here? Is there something or tips that you've picked up along the way?
For me, I just always just like, just be confident in yourself, be confident in who you are as a person. Don't shy away. I think sometimes, it's definitely as Kiwis, sometimes we kind of have to keep it in it at times. But don't let that stop you from being who you are. Be confident. If you want to be out there, be out there. If you want to be honest, just be honest. Like, be that person, own it, and it'll take you somewhere.
Have you got a Kiwi fan base, like apart from us two? Have you got a fan? Have you got a fan base back in Aotearoa?
Yeah, so definitely pretty much my whole family back in
Yeah,
shout out to the family.
Yeah, all my
back
fam.
home.
So I was lucky enough for the Amazon production team to send a subtitled version back to New Zealand for all my friends and family to watch. So
that is fantastic.
That was real cool. And then once the story got out, my mum being so proud as she is, she just went and told the whole world. So
good on your mum.
Awesome.
So, I was lucky enough to get interviews from radio stations back in NZ. That was a real good time.
So tell us about some of these collaborations that you've got coming up. Something around, what is it? Mayonnaise and tomato sauce.
Ketchup. Yeah. Tomato sauce. Yeah, tomato sauce. So on the TV show, there was a scene where karaage, which is pretty much like a Japanese fried chicken. Karaage is always real nice with mayonnaise, but what people don't know is it's even better with mayonnaise and tomato sauce mixed together.
Mixed together. Oh, okay.
So I decided to do that on the show, and everyone caught on to it and loved that scene.
Yeah.
Apparently it has a name called Order Sauce, but little do they know it's actually called J Sauce. So I decided to change that name all up and call it J Sauce. So hopefully I'll be working with a company called Futsuno Shop, where they have their own mayonnaise and tomato sauce ketchup line, which is involved with a chef from Michelin star restaurant here in Japan.
No way.
He has brought out his own line of mayonnaise and ketchup and works with Futsuno company. So they asked me to work together in terms of filming commercial for them. So a little advertising for their company. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting involved with that production and, ultimate goal to bring out that line of J Sauce. So
amazing.
Are they going to call it J Sauce, or are you still working on that?
Well, I hope so.
But
I'm only working. It's just ketchup and mayonnaise, but
it's amazing that you combined that yourself in the show, and then they're producing this and want to collab with you on that. Yeah. Oh, just great! That's really cool.
So real grateful that they seen that and asked me to work together. So looking forward to shooting the video and production with them, and hopefully we can build from there and bring out that J sauce.
Not just any old supermarket brand mayonnaise either.
No. So that's really pricey.
Top
ketchup and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
It's a real high priced product. Obviously if it's in a Michelin star restaurant, I've never been to one before, but definitely looking forward to once we do the filming.
You can see you having a party, like a karaage party, and we're having that's the menu, right? You're having one of your shokuji kais, and that's one of the menu items with the two products.
Yeah. Is that what the fans want? They want to try the J sauce with the karaage, right?
I think it's just the name that brings it because it's actually quite. It's built in labs, so scientific labs where we get mayonnaise and ketchup. Sounds so technical, but really it's just two smashed together. Seems like it's built in labs and stuff like that, but
they've got to have the correct, like the ultimate balance of mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's definitely all on the wrist when you mix it together and stuff like that. Little,
technique.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Such an inspirational story. Just taking those opportunities, putting yourself out there, being yourself, look what you can achieve. And like when we met you and you said, you're starting to take over your brand a little bit more and doing some things yourself, experimenting, trying a few things, see if they work.
Yeah.
and try
Yeah.
it again, do it a bit better. This is a really great recipe for success, I think, and just keeping going, lean into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
yeah, look what you can do. That's such a great story. So where can we all come and mob you next? Where's the next meetup? Is it rugby? You're playing somewhere?
Yeah. So I've got a game. My last season game is coming up on the 10th of December.
How about
Kia ora
early
te mate.
2023? Have you got anything going on there?
20. So I'm actually going home for
Yeah.
Christmas and New Year's break. I'll be going home for
So
a
Jayden
wee
will be at
while.
home, everyone, if you want to come
Yeah,
round.
so if you want to come New Zealand, yeah, just come over, come pop down to H-Town. I'm sure you guys all know where that is, but
Yeah.
heading on home. Haven't been home for a few years now, so
Okay. Yeah.
definitely
Need to
looking
return.
forward to going home and just refreshing. It's been an intense few months, these last few months, and I've definitely working hard to put in things place for when I come back next year. So right up until the day I leave, I'm trying to get all the foundations set so that when I come back after my break, after my refresh time, we can get things up and rolling. So next year I'll be coming back home, hopefully end of January, start of February.
Great.
And few appearances for basketball. I'll be going to do a few basketball B League halftime shows. So if anyone likes
Really?
basketball,
Cool.
come on out and watch me
Awesome.
watch me shoot a few free throws or whatever that's called. I don't know how it works, but I'll
You'll
be
get the
doing
lingo. Get the
yeah,
lingo.
I'll be doing everything with my eyes closed, so don't worry, I'll be just throwing it in like
Okay.
that. So
Sweet.
Wow, cool.
yeah, and then definitely we'll be coming back next year. Shinenkai, I'm definitely when I come back here in Japan, we'll be starting up the new year with a few more events, networking events, hopefully kind of expand it so that we can get say if I have a fan that has their own little company where we can set up a little environment where you can just network with each other if it's with business minds or sports minds, just create a little environment where you can just come together and network, eat, drink, whatever you want to do. So hopefully coming in start of February we'll be looking at promoting all those new events and the clothing line and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, so we can follow all of this on your Instagram because you're quite active on there, eh?
Yep,
That's where you put all this stuff. So yeah, if
Yep.
anyone wants to see what's happening, keep up to date, it's all there to check in on whenever you're listening to this episode.
Yes.
Wonderful. Anything else, Jayden? Anything you wanted to ask us?
Put me on the spot there. Just
keeping you on your toes.
Just really grateful and thankful for you guys for having me on your guys' awesome podcast channels in Japan. I love what you guys do, and that ever since the day that I met you guys at the embassy, you guys were just looking after me real well that day, and I'm just so grateful that you guys have invited me on your guys' awesome platform. I've been involved in a lot, but I was really looking forward to seeing you guys again today, and
that's very sweet.
hopefully we can hang out and do some more things together in the future. Yeah.
We'll help you with the bingo.
Yeah. I think I'll definitely have to get you guys involved.
We'd love to. It'd be really good fun. And
meeting the fans and stuff like that. I'll love you as well. So I'll definitely with you guys in the future. Definitely will love to connect and do some more stuff with you ladies in the future. So hopefully we can do something together.
Well, thank you so much, Jayden. Congratulations, doing us proud.
Thank you.
We're really proud of you being a very successful Jandal in Japan. And thanks so much for telling us about your great story, all the things that you're up to, and sharing all your tips and fun and gorgeous teddy bear stories for us today. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, Jayden.
Cheers.
Oh, Jayden, what a sweetie you are. What a total kuma. Teddy bear.
Teddy bear man. Yeah, it totally shines through. People might see you and think, like a lot of people could do with all of us. And I had that the other day. Some person said to me, "You're so scary." I'm like, actually, I'm marshmallow. And you're like that. You're just a little kuma. You're such a bear. Soft bear, you showed us that, and you can tell why you've just done so well in Japan and been very successful with the way that you're bringing your true self. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really lovely.
Loved it.
I think, yeah, taking those opportunities, like how scary must it have been to be just like a kid back in New Zealand? Here's a scholarship to go to Japan, and to take that opportunity, and then you get here and it's not as great as you thought it was going to be, and sucking it up and getting through that part, sticking it out to get through it. And now he loves it, and is happy to be here, 8-9 years later.
All that structure that he had is gone. The family, the school, everything had disappeared, and no language. I mean, I came here with language, and it was hard enough to get buy curtains and get electronic devices and work out where the aircon was to bring heat during the winter time. Here we go with not having any Japanese and doing that. What a trooper, honestly.
Then that opportunity that came along, the TV appearance, and I think he told us at the embassy, he didn't really know what he was applying for at the start. It was some kind of TV show where you needed to be a guy or something.
Yeah, you have to be a guy.
Yeah. Looking for guys for a TV show is basically, because they don't tell you, right, that it's for the Bachelorette, because otherwise that sort of apparently that causes sort of issues, right?
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Until you get further along, you don't really know what you're applying for. It's a bit vague. I think that's what he was saying. And so only when he got further along the process did it become apparent what exactly this TV show was. I'm pretty sure, Jayden, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. And then, just going through with it, getting shipped off to was it Thailand they were for a few months while they were filming. It wasn't filmed in Japan. It was filmed in Thailand, I think. And so like, going into this environment, all Japanese environment, and doing that on TV.
Yeah, it was at a resort, so they had to do all that nicely, right? Warm, rocked his summer vibe that he likes. Yeah. That's really interesting, isn't it? But I think that he talked about going with the flow quite a few times, and how that part of his personality actually really helped him. If he'd overthought it, he wouldn't have applied. Right, if he'd been too nervous, he wouldn't have, but he went with the flow, and I think it's brought him so many good opportunities in Japan. So as well as adjusting to the customs and things and the regimentary kind of approach as well that he said was important, but it sounds like he's working both to his favor.
Yes,
to make it work in Japan, right? A mix of both.
Because people love how to do the schedule, stick to the schedule, show up to training on time, do the training.
Stay true to self.
Stay true to self, go with the flow, be you. And that's what people are really liking.
I thought his dedication to the duty, and I think you called it the caring for other people as well, seems to be something that's also a magic formula for him, to be very much thinking about, without them, I wouldn't be here. So he's really looking after his, as we might do clients or customers. They are his clients. His fans are his clients and customers, and he's really giving them top service and care.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like making those t-shirts.
Wow.
With his own bare hands. Yes.
I love it.
That was so cute.
Who would have
I was thinking, why would you do that? And now I get it. Okay. It's that extra level of care, and his fans would have loved it to know that he had touched that t-shirt and given it to them in person.
How easy it would have been to say, oh, this is too much. I'm
not
going to do it. Just buy it. Just order and pay, and there you go. But he's doing that extra care
and breaking that app system with his bookings getting overloaded. That's so hilarious.
So funny.
What a great problem to have.
Wow, there's so much there. Obviously he wants to work with others as well and do lovely collaborations. He's given us so many examples. So if there's anyone listening, and we know that lots of people who love New Zealand and Japan listen and would love to collaborate with him. I think it's a really great opportunity waiting there. And I know he'll be selective too, what he chooses.
Yeah, wow. No, I think it's fabulous to have more diverse and caring faces of New Zealand becoming popular in Japan. We will be keeping an eye on you, Jayden. So
you will be.
Behave yourself.
Be good. I know you will be. And we will be keeping in touch with you, and definitely anytime you want some time out or some other fans that are a little bit different, you've got us on your side anytime.
Hang out with some Kiwis. We'll keep you humble.
Keep you humble. Thanks so much. That was wonderful, wasn't it, Jane?
Awesome. Yeah. What a great Jandal in Japan. So have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Because this is our last episode before winter holidays and summer holidays for those of you listening in New Zealand. Get your jandals out, go to the beach. I won't be. I'll be sitting in my kotatsu, which is the heated coffee table, keeping warm, eating my mandarins and whatever else it is we do. Oh, we watch a lot of TV, don't we, over New Year? Yeah. Catherine, you're heading to New Zealand, lucky.
Yes.
If you're lucky, you might be on, those Kiwis heading back might be on the same flight as Catherine. It could be like a Jandals reunion flight.
That would be fun. I'm not going to tell you the flight, but if you see me, give me a shout out, tap me on the shoulder, and we can do something online, on board. Well, it will be, we can do something on board and see what happens.
Awesome.
Thank
All right.
you.
See you
Thanks,
in the
everyone.
next year.
Thanks for all your support, everybody. We'll catch you around the corner in 2023.
Awesome. See you. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you check out our guests' links in the show notes.
This podcast is brought to you today by Catherine O'Connell Law and Pod Launch with Jane. If you have a great story you think should be on the show, come and find us on LinkedIn or Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.
Mata ne!